What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. As always, I'm your humble host, Stefano. Thank you if you're able to join me this afternoon on this weekend. It's a beautiful day outside today. Also, if you're watching this on the replay, I want to tell you thank you as well. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that you are subscribed. We got a lot of videos coming up here in the next couple of weeks, and we want to make sure that you are tuned in and locked in. Therefore, you won't miss out on anything coming up here in the future that we review on the channel. All right. Um, Make sure you are hitting that like button. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You want to make sure you do that because it lets you know when we go live. Today, we are live again on Twitter, YouTube, and on Twitch. So we can't go live on Facebook until we get our weight up. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to wait. But with that being said, I want to talk about our topic today, and that is why the U.S. passport is falling behind others and the reasons why. And got a couple compelling pieces of evidence to show you guys if you want to look and pay attention to it during this podcast. You can and leave your comments below to let me know if you agree on it or not. So I created a video using AI. It's called InVideo. I'm gonna play it here a little bit later. And I also got a video that I want to review from Stephen A. Smith talking about this as well, because one of the main reasons why we are not up to par is because of the presidential situation. If you watched that debate the other night, I think you understand what I'm getting at. We are kind of doing bad right now, and it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing for me to call myself an American. And my main mission right now is to get out of here. Let me check my levels, make sure everything's all good real quick. But yeah, my main mission right now is to get out of here because I don't know what we're gonna do with. I can't even call the man Sleepy Joe because the performance that he put on the other day, it was embarrassing. So like watching somebody's grandfather get up there and just I don't know what to say. And I thought Trump didn't really do a good job himself because he's got up there and fabricated a lot of things. And we know he's a maniac. But at the same time, to be honest, he did better than Joe Biden. And that's just a God honest truth. And I hate to admit that because of what's going on out here in the world. But I don't know what we're going to do about it. But if you saw the presidential debate, I mean, I'm not going to go too long and deep into it. We're going to basically react to what Stephen A. and Chris Cuomo Yes, Chris Cuomo, the former anchor for CNN, right? He was a guest on the Stephen A. Smith show, the podcast that Stephen A. Smith has on YouTube. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to both News Nation and the Stephen A. Smith podcast. Big fan of Stephen A. I'm more of a fan of Shannon Sharp, but I love Stephen A's work as well because he's a black man out here doing it for us, and he's putting on, and he's letting us know where we can be if we keep on maneuvering to it. Now, I'm going to play this video. I just uploaded it, so let me find it real quick.
We're going to dive into why the US passport is, well, falling behind others. It's an interesting shift and one that has a lot of implications for travelers. Port Pimber. You know, not too long ago, the US passport was considered one of the most powerful in the world. It opened doors to countless countries, providing access with minimal hassle. For decades, it was a symbol of travel freedom and global mobility. Fast forward to today, and the landscape has changed quite a bit. The US passport no longer holds the top spot in global rankings. In fact, it's been slipping down the list, overtaken by passports from countries like Japan, Singapore, and Germany. So what's going on here? There are several factors contributing to the decline of the US passport's power. Political changes, visa restrictions, and international relations all play a role. Additionally, other countries have been negotiating stronger travel agreements, boosting their passport rankings. It's a complex issue with many moving parts. So, what does this mean for US citizens? Well, it impacts their ability to travel freely and easily. This can affect everything from business trips to vacation plans. In some cases, it might even influence where people choose to live or work. It's a significant factor in the lives of many. When we compare the US passport to those of other countries, we see some interesting differences. For instance, passports from countries like Japan and Germany offer more visa-free travel options. This can make a big difference for frequent travelers. It's quite fascinating to see how these differences play out on the global stage. Looking ahead, the future of the US passport is uncertain. Changes in international relations, security concerns, and even technological advancements could all play a role. It's important for travelers to stay informed about potential changes. Who knows what the future holds? In conclusion, the status of the US passport is a complex and evolving issue. It impacts travel, international relations, and even personal choices. Staying informed and adaptable is key for anyone holding a US passport. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Safe travels.
Yes, I used NVIDIA AI to create that video. If anybody is wondering, go check it out. It's a great program. You can create videos just from your thoughts. So you type in what you want to see, and boom, it creates the video straight for you. Great AI program for you to use. Now that you saw that, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about that video. Let me see who I got in the building. Got some comments. My Paisa Belia. Gracias, mi cielo. Hello, Nomads. Nomads. Jesus Christ. Hello, Nomads. Welcome to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. Gracias, mi cielo. Yes, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Hit that notification bell. All right. Make sure you tuned in. Thank you. Now, we're falling behind in the world because a lot of the people are tired of the United States and the way that we act, the way that we're sanctioning people left and right, left and right, left and right. They're getting tired of us. They're getting tired of what we're doing to them. Yes, the United States used to be, and probably still is, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, which gains you a lot of access to a lot of countries. But that does not mean that that's always going to be the case in the future. Now, coming down the pipeline, you have the countries that are implementing the BRICS uh, strategies, and they're de-dollarizing. Some of these countries are implementing situations where you would need a visa to enter the country when you didn't need one at first. Like Brazil, for instance. Brazil, starting in 2025, you will need a visa to enter the country. So anybody can't just enter the country. And they want to see your bank account. So you got to have at least $2,000 in your bank account to enter Brazil. Not to mention that they don't accept US dollars anymore. You have to have Brazilian real. Yes. So, as I talked about last week about learning about visas from other countries, you need to learn these things, because going to some of these countries now is not going to be as easy as it was before. You're going to need a visa to get in the country. They're tired. They don't care if you're from the US anymore. They're done with us. We've abused our power for so long. They're doing the same to us. What's good for the geese is good for the gander. And honestly, can you blame them? No, you can't. You really can't blame them. And I'm not upset about it. But hold on, Sensei. What's going on, Sensei? They have a Brazilian conversion. Yeah, use the app that I gave y'all last week. It converts all the money from Brazilian US dollars to Brazilian real. You can order it through the app, or you can place an order with your bank. Your bank can get it. It should be able to. What I would do is just have the money before I get there. Have the currency before I get there. If you plan to go to Brazil, I just wouldn't. I've never been to Brazil. Brazil's not on my list, tell you the truth. It's just too much going on over there, and I think Austin really made it look bad for a lot of us. What's good, Ramo? That was a good. What app? The conversion app, XE. I'll put it in the chat again. It's the XE app. It's the XE app. Matter of fact, just if you got an Android, go to the Google Play Store and type in XE, and you'll see it. Or you can type in money conversion, and you'll see it. If you got a Apple phone, go to the App Store and type in XE. It should pop up. Or if you just type in money conversion, it'll pop up. Should be one of the first ones to pop up. It's one of the most popular conversion apps. Thanks for tuning in again, brother. I've seen you a couple of weeks in a row. Thank you, man. Yeah, but you're gonna need to show $2,000 in your bank account. You got to apply for their visa. You got to show $2,000 in your bank account before you can even get in the country. And that's on top of you not even being able to XE. Yeah, that's right, XE. Like the two letters, you got it, XE. On top of that, you can't spend US dollars in Brazil anymore. In 2025, starting in 2025, you won't be able to. I don't think you can do it now. I don't think they're accepting it now, but you might want to double check that. All right. Europe, some of the places in Europe, now you have to get a visa. Now it's an extended visa, but I don't know how long it is, but you got to apply for this visa. You can't just go to Europe anymore. In certain places, forget the name of the place because Europe's not on my list either. So I don't really keep up with it. But to tell you the truth, they're charging you, I think it's $175 for their visa or something like that. You have to apply for the visa to enter the country. Doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen or not. Boom, you have to pay. Now, you have to get the visa. That's just what it is. And that's how they come in. They don't care who you are, where you're from. This is one of the reasons why the U.S. is losing its dominance. It's a horrible sight. I mean, no. We're going to look at another video, though. That's going to explain why some passports are stronger than others. So let me pull it up, and maybe this can clarify things a little bit more. Let me pull up the video. Boom. Now, this video is from Confidential Unveiled. So make sure you go over there and get them a follow. They got some great work over there. Make sure you tell them the Professional Nomad. Right. Let me share my screen. Boom. Here we go.
As we all know, your passport is the most essential document when it comes to traveling. But not all passports are created equally. If you're wondering which one allows you into the most places, you've come to the right one. Let's talk about what makes a passport strong first. There are multiple factors when it comes to passport strength. The first is income. People from countries which have higher GDP per capita enjoy a lot of visa-free destinations, while the opposite happens in low-income countries. This can be explained by two factors. First, countries are more willing to open their borders to wealthier countries because it will bring more financial benefits. Second,
which is why the U.S. is allowed in a lot of places. Now, grant you, we are in here. There go. Look at my guy, man. My guy always sliding in the back door, man. You can't never pull the thing over his head, man. He always in here. Look at him. We are in here. In here. We, as in them guys. You know who them guys is, right? Machismo TV. And like I always tell y'all, man, when he come through here, he represents the whole conglomerate. It's a whole group of them. It's a whole lot of them. So make sure you go over there and show some love to Machismo TV. Go over there and subscribe to the channel. Tell them the Professional Nomad sent you. I rock with these guys a long way. They are just trying to support the black male lifestyle. They are a man-centric channel just like mine. They want to see all people, not just men, do well, but they're doing it especially for black men. And that's one thing I love about them. They're all critical thinkers. They make you think. Salty Balls makes you think when you go to his channel. So make sure you go check out Salty Balls channel. The Contractor gets deep when he tells his stories when you listen to him. So make sure you go subscribe to The Contractor because he's a real one. He got some stories for you that's going to make you sit there and listen and shut the hell up. Because every time I tune into a stream from The Contractor, I'm just there listening. That's all I'm doing. I'm just listening. It's just deep. That's all I can say. It's just deep. I'm like, damn, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for attending, man. And as always, make sure you go over there and you subscribe to Machismo TV because there's some real ones over there. Hot Sauce, The Contractor, Salty Balls, The International Quiet Storm, and more. Go over there, check them out. Check out this clip while you're here.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
And I'm talking about they turned something out of nothing over there on their channel. So go check them out. Yeah, LOL. Hey, man, always sliding in the back door, man. You don't never know he in here until you go and check out the comment. You say, oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. What's up, Shot Talk? What's happening, man? Ain't seen you in a while, man. Thanks for coming through here, man. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my Instagram page. The Instagram page is going to be updated here shortly. I'm going to have more shorts over there from videos that I'm snipping over here, right? Make sure you are checking this out on all social media. Facebook's tripping right now. I don't know what's going on Facebook. They done got a little bougie on me. You know, might have to punish them a little bit, but you know how that goes. Also, yes, subscribe to The Contractor. I'm telling you, man, this guy is deep. He was telling the story a couple of weeks ago about a container that fell on the guy and the guy survived. And I was like, damn, how did this guy make it? You know what I mean? He said the only reason the guy survived is because the ground up under him was not like real concrete. Like if it was paved concrete, this guy would have been completely smushed like a piece of paper. But because it was kind of like bedrock or sediment, right? The guy survived, but it broke every single bone in his body. And I think this guy just got married, a contractor just said. And I'm just like, damn, man. What kind of life is that to live after like the contractor got some stories for you, boy? I'm just saying, make sure you go check out The Contractor. He's my guy, man. I like him. Thanks, Quiet Storm. Yes, sir. Check out The Contractor. And check out Salty Balls and Machismo TV. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Tell them guys I sent you. Sit there, shut the hell up, watch the videos. That's all you got to do. Pay attention to what's going on because they're really, really trying to help out. And they're really educating the masses. If you just pay attention to what's going on, you'll see it. You really will see it. I was saying Salty Balls himself, the critical thinking man himself, he has a channel. Please go over there, subscribe to him. Tell him I sent you. I'm a mod over there, so you will catch me over there. Sometimes you even catch me in the live stream with them, just talking about certain things because the guy will make you think. I'm telling you, it's best that we all use critical thinking skills. I was talking to my fiance the other day, and I was telling her, and I had to figure out how to say it in Spanish. So it's pensamientos críticos. All right. Usar pensamientos críticos cuando tú necesitas hacer cosas. It's very important that you do that. But in English, you would just, say, I need to use critical thinking skills when I'm trying to do things. It's just how it is. So we all can't think off emotion. We can't be emotionally ran. Everyone is not a robot. You're not an AI program. So you're going to, have feelings. You're a human. But when you think first, you can accomplish a lot. And that's one of the things you learn by going to Salty Balls channel. Trust me. Tell them I sent you. You will not be disappointed. All right. But that's one of the reasons why a lot of us are able to get into a lot of these countries. But I'm telling you, starting in 2025, things are going to change. And you need to be prepared because I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, and I want people, if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this live right now, I want you to understand why I'm saying this, because a lot of the time, especially as people of color, we are very reactive to things. For instance, we're reacting right now to Donald Trump saying black jobs. Did you not know how this man thought when he was a president? So why are we so reactive to it now? We're reacting to it. We always react to things as a people, as a community, as a race. We're reactive when we need to be preemptive, which means before it happens, we need to act on these things before it happens. And we tend to always have this victim mentality because we're reacting to things. When we stop reacting to things, we will start to progress. And this is why critical thinking is important. Why are you so surprised that the man said you taking all the black jobs, the black jobs, the black jobs, the black the what are the black jobs? And yes, the presidential it was unbelievable. Now we're gonna talk about it. Don't worry about it. This part of this video is we talking about this right now. We're gonna get this out the way. The name of the video is "The U.S. passport is falling behind others. Here is why," and that's part of the problem. But we walking the dog slowly. We're gonna get there. Trust me. Yes, it was horrible, but these are the two people that they got. I don't know. Something tells me next week Biden is not going to be our presidential candidate. I'm going to play a clip from Fox News that's going to show you why I don't think he's going to be the candidate next week. It'll pretty much help you understand why we are failing so hard as an economy. Plus, they're not even talking about the money. You're still blindsided by the smoke screen that is Donald Trump. They're not even talking about how bad the money situation is right now. Another reason why the U.S. passport is falling behind because we are losing the global trading currency status. We're losing right now. And we're going to get to that too. We're going to do a video on that too. These videos might not get a lot of views, but I'm going to do them because somebody needs to, and we need to talk about them. We need to talk about it. They're the same people. They're just old as hell, Sensei. They're just old as hell. I don't know if I want a woman running for president. I mean, I think right now Kamala should step in and take over. From what I'm hearing, she's pissed because they're not considering her after Biden's poor performance the other day. They want, in all honesty, from what I'm hearing, they want the California governor, Newsom. They want him to step in. They want him to step in. They've already locked out Bobby Kennedy, which is sad because he was a crypto-centric presidential candidate, and they locked him out. And if you don't understand what's going on in 2025, all of the money is going to turn digital. Again, this is why they're not talking about it. I keep telling y'all, look up Project Sandman, look up what's going on, and then you'll start to understand next year what's going on because people are de-dollarizing, and the money is going to have to go back to the gold standard because right now the US dollar is just a blank piece of paper. It's worthless. It's really worthless, guys. And they're just printing money that has no value because the US dollar is based off of consumerism. So it's constantly inflating. As I've showed you on the US debt clock, we're constantly running up the debt. We can never pay the debt off. So two things has to happen. We have to go back to the gold standard, right? It's not an option. Okay? Ain't an option. We're gonna have to go back to the gold standard. Who was the president that took us off? Yeah, I forgot his name, but he messed it up when he did. He based it off consumerism. That's why everything you buy is so high, why real estate is so high, why everything's so high, because they are trying to pay off debts. And it's on you. That's why I'm trying to get out of here. That's neither here nor there, right? They're not talking about the financial situation because they don't want people to panic. Once you start finding out that your money is funny, people start running. I mean, this is worthless. When your nickels start really becoming pennies, they don't want you to know about it. But I suggest you go do it. We're gonna cover it here. I might do it next week. I'm not sure. Don't worry about it. Just stick around. That's all you got to do. Just stick around. Right. Let's get back to the video. I don't want to ramble too much. But you need to find out what's going on with your money, man. Because it ain't cool. And they're lying. They're lying to us.
People from wealthier nations are less likely to migrate to other countries illegally. For instance, owing to economic concerns about visa overstay, the USA removed Argentina and Uruguay from its visa waiver program in the early 2000s. Another significant predictor of travel freedom is fragility. Increased fragility has a similar effect on ease of travel as income, though in the opposite direction. But what is domestic fragility? One of the primary indicators of it is the level of violence in a country, measured by things like terrorist attacks, organized crime, etc. Some other indicators can be elite factionalization, state legitimacy, and the size of an internally displaced population. According to the Fragile States Index generated by the Fund for Peace, countries that are more fragile have lower travel freedom. The explanation is that these countries fall into the high-risk category for security, asylum, and overstay. As a result, countries such as Somalia, South Sudan, and Syria have some of the lowest visa-free scores. However, there are exceptions like Venezuela, a country that has been embroiled in civil strife since the disputed 2018 presidential elections, enjoys a relatively high visa-free score. On the other hand, certain significantly more stable countries, such as Oman and Mongolia, have low visa-free scores. Citizens from unstable countries not only lack visa-free access to the vast majority of countries, they are also less likely to obtain a visa when they apply for one, creating another barrier for travel freedom. Overall, visa applications from countries with higher levels of fragility are more likely to be rejected. There are, however, important exceptions. For example, more than 80% of visa applications by Iranians were rejected in 2020. In contrast, less than 20% of visa applications by Turkish nationals were rejected, even though the two countries score similarly on the Fragility Index. This indicates that in addition to considerations about fragility, geopolitics may play a role in determining travel freedom. Another important factor is the reciprocal visa agreements between countries. This refers to the agreements between countries to waive visa requirements for each other's citizens. The more reciprocal agreements a country has, the stronger its passport is. Now, let's get into the strongest passports. According to the Henley Passport Index Q1 2023 fact sheet, as of January 10th, 2023, Japan has the strongest passport in the world for the 5th consecutive time, with visa-free access to 193 countries currently. This means that citizens of Japan can travel to 193 countries without a visa, or with visa on travel. Following closely behind are Singapore and South Korea, with visa-free access to 192 countries. Other countries with strong passports include Germany and Spain with 190 countries, Finland, Italy, and Luxembourg with 189 countries. Having a strong passport brings a lot of benefits. It can save time and money on obtaining visas. It can also make it easier to work, study, or do business in other countries. And for many people,
Let's stop it right there. Now, let me ask you something. Did you hear them mention the United States? Did you hear them mention the United States? A hell no. Stone Cold Steve Austin boys. A hell no. You did not hear them mention the United States having one of the strongest passports in the world. Why is that? Because we have destroyed everything. Basically, it's horrible. I mean, it depends. How long you gonna stay, Sensei? How long you trying to stay? It depends on the country you're going to, right? This is what I would do. Apply for a tourist visa. Even if you don't stay the whole 90 days, they'll give you a tourist visa. You're a tourist. You just come in to look, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though a tourist visa gives you the option to stay, most tourist visas are like 90 days. Like for Colombia, I know it's 90 days. And then you have the ability to extend it another 90 days. That's 180 days. That's 6 months. So even if you don't stay the whole time, you get where I'm going with this, right? You get to see the country and make your decision on if you're going to stay here or not. Within these 6 months, hell, within the first 90 days, you're gonna know whether you want to be here or not. You might meet somebody, you might meet a chick, or you might meet a man. Things might go your way. You don't know what's gonna happen. Or you might get there and shit is just horrible. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to get cut and run. It's on you. It's up to you. You don't know. But I think the tourist visa would be good for anybody just going to check out a place. I don't think you should run first to the country trying to live there. You want to vacation there. So essentially you're a tourist. So you're just gonna go check it out. You're gonna go check it out, you're gonna see what it's about, and boom, you'll make your decision there. Then how does your money look while you're there? Can you know, does it look like you'll be able to budget easily there? Some like right now it's 4 to 1 in Colombia. That's basically 4,000 to $1, right? So it would be ridiculous for me to not consider that. Plus, my fiance's there. I'm about to marry a Colombian woman, so I'm trying to go there and live with her. You know what I'm saying? So it would be ridiculous for me to try to bring her here because look at look at what's going on. Not the fact that I don't want to bring her here because she's gonna end up like every other woman in your night. No, look at what's going on. I'm explaining to you what's going on right now. The money's about to be funny, right? They're lying to you about it. All these things going on, and then look at the people who might be running the country. Your grandfather or a maniac. I don't know if I want to stay here any longer, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know. I seen a comment that said 4 more years of Biden. I don't know if he's gonna make it 4 more days. The way he was up there on that stage, it just didn't look good. So you've done research and they asked for a letter of good conduct from my job to apply to become a citizen. Can you get that? I mean, I would go ahead and get that now, and that way you can have all your ducks in a row. You want to just go ahead and have everything lined up. Find out the requirements of the visa, and then start assembling the paperwork. Therefore, when you go to apply, you can, okay, yeah, boom, here you go, boom, 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 boom. That's all you got to do, because most of the time people are not prepared. It's just really a lot of the reason why people get denied for visas. You're not prepared. Same, it's just like, I'm not going to compare it to applying for an apartment, but look at it like applying for a loan, right? they want to see certain things, and if you don't have certain documents, or you can't show them your bank statements and this and that and this and that, you're not going to get it, right? So you want to have everything lined up. It's just about taking care of your business. You need to be able to take care of your business. Let's get back to the video, because this is not a long video.
People, having a strong passport can also bring a sense of pride and prestige. Now, why is the Japanese passport so strong? There are many reasons for this, but to name a few, Japan is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, with a very high disposable income. Greater disposable income means that the Japanese people automatically qualify as potential tourists who would be ready to spend more on their travels compared to most people. This means more tourism revenue for the host country. Therefore, the more Japanese travel to other countries, the better. Besides, Japanese people really don't mind paying a good price for something of premium quality. The Japanese people are not known to illegally immigrate to other countries. In most cases, their own country's standard of living is already much higher than the country they're traveling to. Therefore, they are a safe bet for immigration authorities all over the world. Japan is seen as a peaceful, quiet, and respectful society. They are not disorderly, abide by rules, and have an unparalleled sense of social dignity. So their sense of discipline and public consideration means that they are less likely to commit crimes and antisocial activities. Japan doesn't have an ideological war with any country. Sure, there are historical problems with China and Korea, but they still have a very civilized form of political disagreement with them, instead of tearing each other apart with wars or terrorism. This makes them a very safe demographic for any other country. Japan has been one of the largest donors of foreign aid all over the world, and over the years has created tremendous goodwill in developing countries. Basically, the Japanese are viewed as polite, civilized, hardworking, wealthy, intelligent, and safe people in most countries around the world. That's why every country on the planet welcomes them with open arms. Okay, we've covered the strongest passports, but what about the opposite? Afghanistan passport holders can only travel to 27 countries without a visa. Right after Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq also have very weak passports, with visa-free access to only 30 and 29 countries respectively. Other countries with weak passports include Pakistan with 32 countries, Yemen with 34 countries, and Somalia with 38 countries. But can passports get stronger over time? Of course they can. There are lots of ways to make a passport stronger. A country can negotiate reciprocal visa agreements with other countries, or work to improve its economy, political stability, and reputation to be granted visa-free access to more countries. Some countries also offer citizenship by investment programs to attract wealthy individuals, which can also help. Additionally, many countries are also part of regional organizations, such as the European Union or the African Union, where member countries have agreements to grant visa-free travel to each other's citizens. Becoming a member of such organization can also help a country to improve the strength of its passport. Now, if this video has made you feel bad about your passport, don't worry. You're not stuck with it. You can get a strong passport. As you know, it's through citizenship. Getting a second citizenship can be tough and time-consuming, but it's not impossible. There are several ways to do it, such as naturalization.
Now, let me stop it right there before we go any further, because this is important. And my bad, Quiet Storm, my bad, man. How was Tokyo, man? I've never imagined. I hear a lot about it, but I've never actually been, so how is it over there? I mean, the way they making it sound like it's very peaceful. Yeah, but it's very important to understand the strength of your passport. And right now, we're kind of teetering with the US. We're not even the top dogs. It's Japan. And what, like, and I know that throws a lot of people for a loop, but it's the truth. It's really the truth. So sometimes you just have to make a decision and do what's best for you and your family going ahead in the future. And everyone's not going to like it, everyone's not going to agree with it, but we don't live life for everyone's opinion. I mean, I got kids. My kids are grown. I got grandkids. They're little, right? And what I tell them is that you can come visit me. I can FaceTime you because I FaceTime you now, right? It's very peaceful, fun, and makes the U.S. technology look like I bet. I bet. I don't like how they try to control stuff, man. I just tried to. The regulations here are horrible, man. I just tried to. What's going? There you go. There go the man right there. There you go, right there. We talked him up, Quiet Storm. We talked him up. Salute, sir. Salute. Hey guys, make sure you subscribe to the Facebook page. I'm trying to get my followers up so I can go live over there again. I don't know why they tripping and acting bougie, but you know how it is. But please make sure you're subscribed over there. I'm trying to get it up. Thank you. Thank you. Cielo Mio. Yeah, well, yeah. I swear we were just talking about you, contractor. I promise we were just talking about you about 15 minutes ago. We talked you right up. I promise. Hey, drop the link in the chat again, Quiet Storm, so people can go subscribe to his channel once again. Y'all go subscribe to the contractor, man. I'm telling you, man, the guy's deep. When he tells the stories, it makes you want to listen, man. I was just telling them about the video that you put up about the guy that got smushed by that container. That's what I was talking about, contractor. So that was a horrible, horrible situation. It made me feel horrible because the man survived. I was like, damn. So yeah, it was rough. I couldn't imagine surviving getting smushed by a container like that of that magnitude. Oh yeah. Hey guys, please go subscribe to the contractor. Go show they got some love. Tell them I sent you. All right. Yeah. But it's important to know the strength of your passport. And you want to also make sure that you are able to maneuver freely because our government tries to control a lot of things and you don't really realize it. I mean, we are protected, but sometimes that can be a bad thing as they don't really want you to do a lot. So before they try to reject that, no problem, bro. That's what we do over here. I'm telling you, it's all about networking. That's what I'm about. Networking and collaboration, bro. And I appreciate you coming through. Salute to you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we need to do. That we need to do more of that. I'm not that type of content creator where I don't want to show love to my peers, man. We're all we got. So yes, we got to do that. But you want to be able to make a decision. Like, let's say, for instance, you want to get out of here, and before they try to lock it down and say you can't, you want to be able to make that decision. And that's what's going to be important about the next part of the video coming up is that people like me who are engaged to a foreign national, right? Some of these countries allow you to be dual citizenships. Some of them don't allow it. And if you ever want to become a dual citizen, you have the option to do this. You just need to do your research and find out where and how. Like Sensei was just talking about how he did this, and he's making the steps here and there. As my fiance say, paso y paso, paso y paso. In Spanish, it's step for step, step by step, step by step. It's a slow process. Nothing is automatic. And, I mean, the first time you apply for a visa, you might get denied. So just make sure you got all your ducks in a row. It happens. You got to make sure you are basically being clean. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not an angel. I have a criminal record. I'm nervous about doing anything. You know, yeah, I got a couple degrees on the wall behind me, but that don't mean shit. I still gotta, you know, yeah, it's rough. Just trust me on that. Anybody tell you anything else is a liar. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, there you have options, and you want to flex those options before they take it away from you, because the simple fact they just already, in my opinion, we might be going to war. I don't want to be here when that happens. They've already made it mandatory for every kid, for every man 18 to 26 is automatically enrolled in the army. It ain't voluntary no more. If you ain't seen that, you might want to go Google it. And I talked about this on another stream. And I know we got guys in here like Quiet Storm, and I believe the contractor who served our country with honor, right? And they can tell you how it is to be in the army. And if you don't want that for your kids, your son, if you have a son, then you need to start making preparations like I'm doing, because I don't want that for mine. I got a grandson. I don't want that for him, you know? And we're forcing people, just like we're trying to start a war. And I'm telling you, in 2025, all the money's going digital, and they're going to be looking for a villain. So look at all the countries that are de-dollarizing right now, like China, for instance, and Russia. We're damn near already in a war with Russia over Ukraine. How easy do you think it is just to shoot a missile over there? Go ahead and pop it off. You want to be here when that starts, or do you want to do something about it? Quit playing with your future. You can't sit back here and be reactive. That's the problem. Like I keep saying, as a people, we're too reactive. Like I said about the Black Jobs thing. What do you expect him to say? He's an old, ignorant old man. Black Jobs. Why are you even getting upset about it? What you expect this fool to say? You know what I'm saying? Don't react to that shit. What you need to do is be preemptive. And being preemptive is doing what I'm telling you to do now, and that's figure out a way to get the hell out of here, which is what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to start my life anew somewhere else. And that's just that on that. But let's get back to the video.
In most countries around the world, you can acquire citizenship in a country by first becoming a legal resident and then maintaining that residency for a certain number of years. Some countries make it harder than others for foreigners to obtain residency and citizenship. In the United States, immigration rules make it difficult for foreigners to obtain a green card. But in Panama, for example, the process is very quick, affordable, and easy. After 5 years, you can apply to become a Panamanian citizen. In some countries, you don't even need to actually spend significant amounts of time in the country to become eligible to apply for a second passport. It's still advisable to demonstrate strong ties to the country in order to be approved, though. This is a great option for people who do not want to uproot their lives right away, but want a place to go no matter what happens in the world, and a second passport a few years down the line. Keep in mind, however, that residency and passport opportunities change frequently. They are heavily subject to the laws of supply and demand. Another way of getting a second citizenship is investment. It's called economic citizenship or citizenship by investment, and is a legitimate way to buy a second passport and citizenship. It's the fastest way to acquire a second passport. There are numerous ways you can do this. The first is that you make an outright donation to the government in exchange for citizenship. The second is that you make an actual investment in property, financial instruments, or businesses. It can range from a couple $100,000 to several $1 million. If you think this is the right choice for you, there are several options that offer passports of varying quality. The Caribbean has 5 active programs that will grant you and your family citizenship, starting at $110,000 for singles and $150,000 for a family of 4. St. Lucia, as well as Antigua and Barbuda, have even gone on a COVID sale to attract economic citizens to the countries, which rely on tourism and have been hit hard by the pandemic. Their passports are decent, but the highest quality passports by investment are from Europe. Cyprus will require you to fork out over $2 million for a passport, but Malta will give you citizenship for just $880,000. In conclusion, the strength of a passport is determined by a combination of factors, including visa-free access, reciprocal visa agreements, and a country's reputation and stability. Having a strong passport can bring many benefits. Efforts to improve the strength of a passport can take many forms and can have broader implications for a country and its citizens. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Make sure you go over there and give them a follow. They are doing a great job over there. All right, that is Confidential Unveiled. And we're going to talk about another video here soon. This is one of the other reasons why the U.S. passport is so horrible. Please make sure you're following my Twitter page. The Twitter page, right now we're live on Twitter. Facebook, no, I'm sorry. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Facebook is tripping. They're bougie right now. It's okay. Sooner or later, they're going to realize their mistake and let us back on them. But make sure you follow us on there too. As below, you can see it. Oh, I don't even got my banner on. Also, guys, like I mentioned last week, I am not doing consultations for people who would like to try to visit Colombia for medical services. So if you or a loved one needs some help, right? And you want to go see a doctor, let me know. I charge a small fee to help you get it set up. You just need to make sure you make it there on time and get to your appointment. But you can start by emailing me below and we'll make it happen, right? Because I know this is not a part of a lot of people's consultations. You know, healthcare is becoming very unaffordable, especially in the United States. So if you're looking to go do something like this outside of the country, my specialty would be in Colombia. If you're looking to go to Colombia and you're looking for a dentist or you're looking for a doctor or an ophthalmologist, some kind of specialty, hit me up. The email's below. I charge a consultation fee. I'll meet with you, discuss with you what's going on, see what we need to talk about, and see if I can help you with that, right? But you let me know. Just let me know. All right. Emails below. Hopefully we can help people. That's the name of the game. Gracias, mi amor. That's the name of the game, helping people. I mean, it's not going to be free, but at the same time, you'll be basically saving a whole lot of money going overseas. It's a lot of wrestlers right now that are suffering from injuries that can't get help here, right? Stem cell research is very big in these other countries. It's big here, but they can't get the help. Why? Because they age out, right? I can show you 3 wrestlers right now. They're in Mexico, not the United States, in Mexico, getting stem cell treatment. In Mexico, not in the United States, in Mexico. So let me, I'm going to sit that right there, and then you'll see why I'm saying if you want to come to Colombia to find some healthcare options, let me know. The email's below, because that's what it's coming down to, because we can't afford it in the United States. It's 5 times, 6 times as higher here in this country. So why would you sit there and waste your time trying to, pay deductibles and do all this, and you still have to pay out-of-pocket costs, when you can just go pay for a certain fee for a service in another country and get it taken care of. You can't let the fact that you don't speak the language stop you from getting the care you need or the care for your loved ones either. I'm just a middleman here. I'm just trying to point you in the direction because this is what I'm doing. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm transferring all of my healthcare over there because it's affordable. And they have insurance plans there too. And you can go there and purchase the plans. You can get insurance, or you can get travel insurance that'll help cover your costs. The choice is yours. But if you're looking to find you a doctor over there, you need help for your health or somebody you know, hit me up. Like I said, I got a small consultation fee, but it's worth getting yourself together. You know what I mean? Don't ever let anyone else tell you anything different. Now, as I was mentioning, we're going to play another video here. And this is going to be our guy, Stephen A., talking about what's going on. And make sure you go over there and give him a holler. All right? Because to be honest with you, they're really, really telling the truth. Because it all starts at the top. And if the president is weak and ain't doing good, then ain't none of this stuff going to end up good in the future, right? So what we need to do is realize the person who's supposed to be leading us needs to be a strong candidate. And right now, I don't know what's going on. But let's check out the Stephen A. Smith Show.
Welcome to Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. Thursday night, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump held their first of two scheduled debates moderated by CNN's Dana Bash and Jake Tapper at CNN Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. During a 90-minute debate, Biden and Trump were asked about the economy, the war in Ukraine, climate change, the border, and election denials. Of course, issues most Americans, in polls anyway, say they are most concerned about heading into the 2024 election. To me, it was a disaster to some degree. I certainly wasn't impressed by Trump because there was a lot of stuff that he was telling that didn't seem to be on point. In Biden's case, he froze within the first couple of minutes. I was in panic mode. It was hard to look at him. It was hard to listen to him. It was just bad, ladies and gentlemen. It was just bad. But before I even get into it any further, why do it alone when I've got an expert to join me? Joining me to discuss last night's debates is the host of Cuomo on News Nation. He's my buddy. He's one of the elite political minds as far as I'm concerned. His journalism career has been absolutely great. He's a friend. I love his show. I love him. And he's a friend of the show. The one and only Chris Cuomo is here with me right now. What's up, big time? How you doing, man? How's everything?
Listen, I love you.
Hold on, let me stop it right there. Now, for those of you who do not know who this is Chris Cuomo. All right? Chris Cuomo, the former CNN anchor who was fired because of his brother, Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo was the former mayor of New York. Andrew Cuomo was fired for sexual harassment, for harassment claims. Yes. The same Governor Cuomo. Now we have a lady that took his place. And you see how things are going in New York, right? Right. But here we go with the issue of the Democrats, and they're going to break it down and tell you what needs to be done about this topic right here. And this really should be a whole nother video, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into it. So without further ado, we're going to let them talk. But just in case you didn't know who Chris Cuomo is, that's who that is. All right.
you so much that even though, as you know, we were on until like 1 o'clock in the morning and then I had to drive back home,
Right.
I'm up, I'm haggard, but I'm here for you, Stephen A. Smith, because I must make my witness on your account. I'm a big fan of you and what you're doing.
I appreciate that so much. By the way, I appreciate that crib behind you even more. It looks pretty spectacular.
You are welcome.
And I
You
saw,
are welcome.
you know I'm
This is
coming.
what-
You know I'm coming through. I'm definitely coming through. And by the way, I saw you puffing on a cigar. Don't put the cigar down on my account. I mean, you could keep it. It looks pretty damn cool. I might start smoking those cigars. I mean, if that's the life that I'm talking about is waiting for me. But look, in all seriousness, Chris, basically break down for me what we saw last night. I thought I was scared when the president froze within the first couple of minutes. I said, oh my God, please don't let this happen. Please don't let that. I don't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't wish it on Trump. I didn't wish it on him. It was just a bad scenario as far as I was concerned, although he ultimately came on and showed a little something as the debate progressed. What was your take on what we witnessed last night?
It was a good night and it was a fast fight, Stephen A. To paraphrase Dennis Green, he is who we thought he was. He is who we thought he was.
Right.
This is a man who is in decline. Does that mean that he's a ghost and everybody else is making decisions for him? No. It means that when live and needing to be spontaneous, Joe Biden is no longer up to the task. And this is the reality. And the blame goes not to Biden. It goes to the party for how they locked people out of the process. And they have now put themselves in somewhat of a predicament because they put themselves in a position where they only win because of the anti-Trump vote.
Now this is true. All right. This is true because I mean, this is embarrassing as a country, you know, for us to have people up here like this representing us. I mean, the line what Donald Trump says, I didn't understand what he said in that sentence. I don't think he understood what he said in that sentence. That was an uppercut. I cannot believe that they let that man go up there like that and embarrass the Democratic Party like that, because that's who they want to be president. Now, if they do not replace him, who are they? I mean, he's not going to beat Trump. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So they have to do something that's going to stir up the pot. And they're going to have to find another candidate to run for president, because that's not going to work right there. Let's get back to it.
There is no pro-Biden vote. And that's a lot of pressure to put on the base. And look, your assessment of Trump is right. The frustration with him is he's a serial and pathological liar. And he doesn't tell anybody how he's going to do anything, because all he is about being a demagogue and making people upset. And lucky for him, a lot of people have a lot of legit reasons to be upset and want disruption and want to see the system core up. They tell you that all the time. So what did last night mean? It meant that people like me and you are right, that the system has to change, that the two parties have failed us, and that we have to do better. It's embarrassing that Trump and Biden is the best America can do.
You talked about the Democratic Party and them being at fault, and I completely agree with you. I've been going off about this for months, talking about how they should be ashamed of themselves. They've had 8 years to build a bullpen, and they have no bullpen whatsoever, to use a sports analogy when it comes to baseball. Nobody in the bullpen to take over in the event that this guy Biden ultimately just can't do it. And you alluded to the Democratic Party locking people out, essentially. I want you to elaborate on that. I want that coming from you instead of somebody like me. When you say that, specify what you mean by that statement. The Democratic Party did this to themselves by locking folks out.
They didn't allow a primary process. Now, part of that is understandable because they had the incumbent, and the incumbent is rarely primaried. Okay, but this is an extraordinary circumstance. We're not used to having a president in obvious decline that is losing the confidence of the American people. And they locked out Bobby Kennedy, and you don't have to like Bobby Kennedy to like the proposition that he represents a bad party system.
Now, they locked out Bobby Kennedy. They locked out Bobby Kennedy, the crypto president. They locked him out. So even if we had an independent that could just come in and swoop in and win, they locked him out. So now we're left with that. That's what we're left with. And I think it's an embarrassment. That's all we got, right? But we're not gonna stay on here too much longer. But maybe something's gonna change with this. I'm going to play this video from Fox News real quick. It talks about what happened the other day and what's going to go on this week. Bear with me.
And
all right, I'm gonna share my. All right, guys.
Well, this is a bombshell. Listen closely. We're getting new reporting about what's going on at the Biden campaign as we speak. Doug Cass, a hedge fund owner, a big DNC insider, just posted this. Quote, what I am hearing regarding Joe Biden, Ron Klain, that's the former chief of staff, and Barack Obama are having a sit down with the president today. Joe Biden is insistent that Joe's running. Kamala is furious that she is not being considered as a replacement. Whitmer and Newsom are. Interestingly, my neighbor in East Hampton is hosting the Bidens tomorrow. It will be an important tell if the fundraiser is canceled. Whoa. Okay, let's take this piece by piece. This is the claim of one hedge fund owner. But Tammy, let's start with the first part. Ron Klain and Barack Obama having a sit down. That has the potential to boomerang because Obama encouraged Biden to stay out the first time and cede that ground to Hillary. Reporting says Biden was upset by that. So that could boomerang in Biden's face, or Obama's face, I should say.
Yeah, I think that this also shows you that now we've got leadership coming in, has a mission. And I don't think Cass is going to post something like that without permission. You're not going to go with gossip when you're an insider. So there's a point in a way that they're still playing this out publicly with that kind of messaging. Why put Kamala Harris in that position as the angry outsider who's being pushed under the bus? Fascinating decision. So I think that this is a problem in general, that you've, once again, to your earlier point, that this is being perhaps addressed moment by moment, people getting in, people trying to persuade, and that the nation is in that kind of condition right now.
This is horrible. This is horrible. It was so bad the other night that they're about to step in and get Biden out of there. I hope they do, because if they do not, then they are definitely not going to beat Donald Trump. They need to bring in someone else to at least be able to debate this man. Biden has lost his ability to debate. He cannot debate anymore. You know, if you cannot debate, you won't win. And this is about winning. It's about developing a winning strategy. And Kamala has every reason to be upset. She's the vice president. In the event that the president cannot continue, she should be the obvious choice to step in. But what they're doing is basically saying, no, we don't want you. We want another guy. So that's why they want Governor Newsom, or the governor from Maryland. I can't think of what his name is. Yeah, I mean, what else can she do? I mean, she was on an interview the other night. She was making it sound all good and sweet, but I mean, she know that man ain't gonna be around too long. Yeah, she's supposed to be furious about it, but the point is, I mean, what do you think, Quiet Storm? Do you think that they're gonna replace him? Do you think that do you think they're going to replace him, or do you think they're going to let him continue? If not, who do you think they'll replace him with? Let me know. Also, if you're watching this on the replay and you made it this far through the video, thank you. But if you leave a comment below, leave a comment about who you think they'll replace him with. But this is why the passport, you want to do something. This is why I'm telling you guys to be preemptive. Right now, you see the confusion that's going on in the government right now? Do you want to be a part of this? Is this what you want to be a part of? If it's not, you need to start strategizing on how to get the fuck out of here. All right, let's continue.
Now, Jason, this is not Fox News' reporting. I just want to point this out. This is one person who could have his own motives. Maybe he wants someone different. But the second piece of what he said is Jill Biden is insistent that Joe is running.
And why is his wife not, why is his wife so power hungry that she's making him run for president, knowing that he is feeble? If I would have let that Stephen A. Smith video play out some more, it was a perfect example of what they said Biden looked like. They said Biden was sitting there with his mouth open, like an old man in the nursing home waiting to be fed applesauce. I cried. Yeah, I know, but Newsom, why do you think that? Why do you think he won't be able to beat Trump? They're talking about the governor from Maryland. I don't know who this guy is. Never heard of him before. But they're saying he's very sharp, and those are the two people. They're also saying Governor Newsom don't want to run. He's comfortable in California. He don't want to lose. He just don't want to. He don't want to do nothing. He'll talk the talk, but he doesn't want to, step up. Get back to it.
That rings as true to me based on this last night.
Thank you all and for staying and for being here and for all your support. Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Jason, I know she's a teacher, but that is how I talked to my child. Good job. You answered all the questions.
Yeah, I think Joe Biden likes being president, quite frankly. I think, and the problem here is there's not a natural succession plan. The idea that Kamala Harris, the only person that's less popular than Joe Biden, even after that performance, is Kamala Harris. And the party and the nation, I think, is frightened to actually put her up there. But look at the way she had to lead Joe Biden away from the podium. And Republicans, I think, would do well to just sit back and shut up and don't talk about, just run the Democrats, let the Democrats sort this out, let them talk about it, and just shut up and let them deal with. They created this problem, so they got to live with it.
They did. And Doug Cass says Kamala's furious and Newsom and Whitmer are being considered. Whoa, who do you think should be the replacement?
Well, first, I want to say that the vice president did a phenomenal job last night, by all accounts. Of Democrats who last night were bedwetting about Joe Biden said, and people who are not Kamala
She has
Harris
improved.
fans, she said, she did a wonderful job. She was honest. She was forthright. She talked about policy. I think she's been doing a much better job on the stump, especially with women and communities of color. So I would not sleep on her. And look, I have always said if either party nominated someone else for president, they would win by 10. And so I think the Republican Party, be careful what you wish for. If Joe Biden, for some reason, decides not to run, I think that would spell the end for Donald Trump's campaign. I think even if it's Kamala Harris, I believe that. And what I don't want, my very last point, what I don't want is the problem at the top of the ticket to affect the Senate races and the House races and the governor's races. The Democrats have to win across this country to prevent the extremist Republican actions across the country. That's what I don't want.
And I hear what you're saying. I think the Trump camp would probably agree with you that Joe Biden is a weak nominee. But here's the counter to that is when you look at polling, Newsom fares worse than Biden does against Trump. Kamala fares worse. And if you replace them as, maybe that's not true in practice,
Well,
but some of these folks, Newsom doesn't have the name ID.
If you also insert RFK Jr. into that polling, Democrats do even worse. And, Gavin Newsom, he is not popular in California. They have turned their backs on his leadership because taxes are high, homelessness is high, and he is in denial. So now he's trying to pivot with this national message because he wants to be the replacement. He wants to be this last minute savior. He is a better communicator than both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Unfortunately, he is communicating a god-awful record. She was not honest last night. She had the worst spin of anyone about his debate performance. Even Anderson Cooper had a very pointed critique of the president, and he went back to her twice, and she was like, well, slow start, strong finish. It's like, what were you watching?
Yeah, I've never seen Anderson Cooper that hot. That was interesting to watch.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host.
All right, guys. We've been on here almost an hour and a half. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Gracias, La Caquina. Thank you, Contractor. Thanks, everybody, for coming through. If you made it this far, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button. Got a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. And like I said, a lot of these videos, it's not going to get a lot of likes, not going to get a lot of views, but we need to talk about it because it's important. Like I told you guys, they're blowing a smoke screen in your face. They're not talking about the money. You need to find out what's going on with the money. And as you see, they're talking about interventions for Biden, and the person who's going to do the intervention for Biden is a hedge fund manager, somebody with some money. So I'm just telling you, you might want to learn. You want to figure this out. Trump will attack Newsom handling of the C-19. Oh, okay. The wildfires and the incompetency to manage the state's budget. And Newsom is pro-stimulus checks for single mothers, which increased. Yeah. See? Keyword, stimulus checks, the money. Find out what's going on with the money. So he might not be a good. How did he handle? Oh, were they talking about still having? You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was in California during the time on the beach. I can show you the pictures. I was out there during the middle of this, whatever we call it now. And I was like, okay, if a lot of people out here got it, I can see why they got it. People were still riding scooters and, the electric scooters, and they was on the beach getting lit, and nobody was wearing a mask, including myself. It was like, wow. It was like it did not happen. Right? So, yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know he moved to Texas. Wow. Oh, the rich tax, because he taxing out there, right? Is that what you're talking about, Quiet Storm? Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, hit me up after this too, Quiet Storm. Well, I'll hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna hit you up. Yeah, it's I was out there. I couldn't believe it. I didn't have no shot of nothing out there. I'm just out there in LA. Like, okay, and this is what we doing. What we doing? On the beach, on Venice Beach, Santa Monica Beach. I was on the beach, posted, drinking Pacificos with everybody else. I mean, yeah, it just looked like nobody cared. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. They were living life like normal. As soon as they said they can go back outside, they was outside. So yeah, I don't know, but I was there. I was out there. I was just like, wow. I was at LA Live. I was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. But that's all I got for this week. Next weekend, we'll be back. I got to figure out what we're going to talk about next weekend. I think we're going to finally dive into the finance. I don't want to scare nobody, but you better get ready. All right. Salute, guys. Thank you.